We got to mention this big trade yesterday in the NBA. James Harden to Philadelphia, Ben Simmons to Brooklyn.
Huge
tonight.
trade.
Yes, tonight in Philadelphia, they hosted the Thunder. They're hosting the Thunder. And they did a video montage of James Harden before the game. He's going to wear a new jersey number 1, because Wilt Chamberlain's 13 is, I presume, retired in Philadelphia. He led them to a championship. And Ben Simmons is going to wear number 10. He wore 25 in Philly.
You know what? It's apropos that James Harden would wear number 1. Plus, the 76ers announced that they're no longer going to throw confetti. Did you hear this? After they win games, now they're going to throw up money signals. That's James Harden.
I'm good with that.
That's what
I'm good with that.
This is, yeah. Get that out of your pockets, Chris.
Hey, don't be in my pockets, man. Don't be grabbing my pockets. I should have known. When Rob told me he had a special something skit he wanted to do for Harden, I should have known that's what. Look at this, man. Do you make it rain at the club?
Where do you think I got these from?
You making it rain. Wow.
There you go.
Make sure you get all your ones. I'll help pick some up for you. I'll make sure you get
watch your
every
pockets.
single
What
one.
you got in here? Look, Chris got my money in his pocket.
Hey, man.
All that money you got?
You making
Leave my
it rain,
singles.
brother.
All
Let me
right.
I'm just getting it for you. That's all. All right. You happy with yourself?
Yes, I am.
My
very
goodness.
much so.
All right. It is the Odd Couple, Chris and Rob.
If you see the video, we'll have the video on social media.
Yeah,
You'll get to
he's
see
making it rain, you know. Okay, Rob, let's get to this. Matthew Stafford, you know him well. You covered him in Detroit. Is anyone in this Super Bowl under more pressure than Matthew Stafford?
I don't think so, Chris, only from this standpoint. And we brought this up before. They already went to the Super Bowl, and I know it's not the exact same team, but the Rams have been to the Super Bowl. And they went out and they mortgaged the future for him. They said the one thing they needed was a quarterback who could make all the throws.
Yep.
So it's all set up. And I think there was a story, right, in The Athletic, Rob G today. And they kind of brought up Rob G. Just jump on for a second. Knock that money off the button there.
It's money.
There's
There are
money
$1
everywhere.
bills all over the
I
place.
feel like my name is Chastity. There's a way that there's money everywhere.
Chastity.
No, but yeah, Rob, in The Athletic, Mike Sano's been on the show plenty of times, a friend of the show. He interviewed 4 different anonymous coordinators that had either faced one or both teams this season. And the consensus, you can read the whole thing. It's a great article on The Athletic. But if you read through it, the consensus seems to be the Rams should win this game.
On paper, they should win it.
That not only do they have more talent, they're just a horrible matchup on paper for Cincinnati with the way that they can get after the passer. Jalen Ramsey can mirror Jamar Chase if they have to. You know, the Bengals defense is okay. It's not great. And with all those weapons with the Rams, they should be able to score pretty much at will. But it all says the Rams should win. However, if they don't, it'll be because Matthew Stafford blew the game for them. Everyone to a man says the Rams are the better team. The Rams are the better team. But we can almost count on Matthew Stafford making at least one horrible pass. And if he doesn't mind his P's and Q's, Joe Burrow is the kind of quarterback who's going to take advantage of those things
I believe
and win
that.
at the end.
I think that's a fair analysis. Not that they're saying the Rams should win. But this is about Stafford more than anybody. And I know Aaron Donald wants to win a Super Bowl, Chris, and he's a great defensive player and all that and what it will do to his legacy. But you could be a great defensive player. If he turns the ball over close, you know, on the other side, on the wrong side of the field, and the defense is in a bad spot, Joe Burrow could take advantage of it and have a couple of easy scores, and that turns the game around.
No, you don't want to let this team hang around. And again, I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Rams win a fairly close game.
You don't see a blowout.
No. But it seems like a lot of people see either blowout for the Rams
or Bengals win.
Like they think if it's close, they've got more faith in Burrow. But look, Rob, that's the result of 12 years of futility.
Right.
I mean, you're not getting the benefit of the doubt
No.
if you're Matthews. No matter what you've done this regular season, you will not get the benefit of the doubt until you do it.
Until you seal a deal.
Absolutely.
And Chris, if he doesn't, say he just has a bad pick or there's something turns the game around and they lose, I just wonder I think a lot of people will second guess themselves and be like, I thought this guy was that guy, and Detroit, Matt Stafford showed up in the biggest moment. He never won at Georgia. They'll start to go back and relive all these other moments where, he didn't do. Because this guy was the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
So he was that good, even though he didn't win the Heisman, even though he didn't win a national championship. Right. He was still that good that they made him the first overall pick.
I don't think he's going to, lose the game for them. Now, he may not have a prolific game. I think he's going to have a very good game. I think Cooper Kupp is going to do his thing. I think OBJ is going to be a factor. I think Stafford's going to have nice numbers. But if he doesn't, I don't see him throwing that big pick that loses the game. I know that's been some of his history.
He did it with the 49ers. You remember that game?
In the championship game?
No. Oh. In the last game of the regular season, the 49ers need to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
He threw the pick that lost the game after the 49ers. So I'm just saying, we've seen him do that.
Right. But I don't see him losing this game for them. But if anything, he just doesn't play well. He's off on his throws. He doesn't put up big numbers. And that'll be enough. Because elsewhere, they should be solid. They should get a pass rush on Joe Burrow. Jalen Ramsey should wreak havoc defensively. Because here's the deal. You can either put Ramsey on Jamar Chase and have him travel with him, or you could put Ramsey on T. Higgins and then double Jamar Chase with 2 other guys. And so you should be able to cover the Bengals receivers fairly well.
I on paper, you're right. I get it. But if they have a short field because –
No, that's my point. I'm saying
I'm
just saying Stafford just not having a good game.
Well,
even if he doesn't throw a ton of picks.
Right.
Just not moving the ball, not being accurate.
I got you.
That could cost them because everywhere else they should be fine, and people will look at Stafford. Oh, he only threw for 212 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 pick, even though it may not have been to change the game.
Right.
He's got it. The pressure's on him, and we talked about it too. This is a guy who has big numbers.
We said that coming into the year, Chris.
Right. He could begin what could end as a Hall of Fame career. I don't think this one game will do it.
No.
He needs 4 or 5 more years of high-level play, but this would be the first step. That's for darn sure.
And we've talked to a lot of people, even guys who are in the Hall of Fame, who are like, no, this doesn't there's a lot of guys
who made, I think, 1 Pro Bowl.
Right.
Yeah,
and I think it was an alternate.
Yeah.
He wasn't even and that's he's played 13 years in the league. I mean, that's a long time not to be a Pro Bowl.
Mac Jones has already made a Pro Bowl.
Right.
So, yeah, and here's the other thing about Stafford's numbers, because he's top 12. The numbers that really impress me the most are he's 7th in game-winning drives. That's big. That belays the narrative, and the narrative's accurate. But you're like, wow. I mean, that's a clutch narrative.
But the only problem that I have with that is coming into this year, he was 9-63.
No, right,
That's
so
the
you
flip
wouldn't
side
think
too.
He had that many game-winning drives. Obviously, they're not against great teams.
There you go.
But still,
I
they
get
aren't
it.
a great team.
But
they
you see what
weren't,
But you see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's the part that doesn't work in his favor.
Right.
Not that you got to beat Chris over 500, but if you play
Most
around
guys probably have
500 against the best teams, you play around 500 and you beat up the bad teams.
He isn't even close.
Right.
It was like 9-63. Yeah. It was horrible. So, but the numbers, I'll just say this, because a lot of the young guys, all they look at are numbers.
It's a different league, though.
All the quarterbacks from today, or if you look at it, they're all recent for the most part. The guys that are in the top 10, top 15 yardage-wise are recent, fairly recent. And so that's because they throw the ball a lot more. They don't get hit like they used to, whether receiver or quarterback. So you got to remember that and keep that in mind. But look, I believe that Stafford will deliver. I think they'll win this Super Bowl. But I definitely think I do a Bud list every week on the show. Broussard's under the rest list, like the guys who the most pressure is on. And my 5 for this game, 5 was Joe Burrow. Because, everybody thinks he's playing with house money. Yeah, but there's no guarantee you get back. Dan Marino never got back after he went.
It ain't automatic. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been back. Right.
So he's got to capitalize.
Tom Brady went 10 years in between. I'm just saying, like,
winning them.
But winning. Like, that's how hard it is to win.
Right. 4, I had Aaron Donald. 3, I had Sean McVay.
There's a little on him, too, Chris.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, he's going to 2 Super Bowls in 5 years is great.
But this is the only reason I'm saying you're right. But the last time he came in, they had a high-powered offense. We got undressed. They were averaging 35 points a game. He scored 3 points in the Super Bowl. If somehow they lose and they lose 21-9, and that's all the offense they can mount, don't you think they'll be like, wait, he got out-coached again?
No, there'll be pressure. I mean, he would not pressure you're losing your job.
Right.
Oh, he's on the hot seat. No, but he'll be getting criticized.
Right.
He will highly criticize.
The way that we talk about Shanahan and the way he closes out big games, right? He's got 3 now.
And there was the feeling before, the NFC Championship game that Shanahan owned him. And now this is another one of your proteges who worked on your staff who could beat you with lesser players. Number 2, I had the Bengals offensive line. And number 1, Stafford. I mean, the most pressure's on him. Yeah, so